Welcome back to another episode of the Ohio College Tech Prep Podcast. My name is Matt Cola, and I am your host from Kent State University out of the Northeast Ohio College Tech Prep region. We will feature the second half of our interview with Robert Ross from the state support team. And without further ado, we will go right into that recording.
So as you know, not everyone is excellent at this, and we know we have our SSTs there to help us, including the SSTs. Where can a CTPD find support or partnerships if they realize they may need to improve how they're delivering CTE to students with disabilities?
Okay, well, of course, they're going to first call their state support team career tech consultant, right? Because, we're all knowing and we know where to find all the resources. Just kidding. I think, when we're looking at supporting that partnership, I think it's really, really critical that, let's say it's a career tech pathway where a student is half a day in their career tech program and then the other half a day somewhere else receiving their academic support. In situations like that, I think having a really close relationship with the LEA or the school that the partner district that the student is coming from is really, really important to make sure that there's frequent communication there, and that whatever supports and services that the student needs, that the CTE program is aware of what those are. And typically that is going to be, that intervention specialist or case manager that might know that student the best, and they can provide either the support directly to the student or to the instructor. Others are advanced CTE. Ohio Department of Education and Workforce also has some other great resources. Additionally, Opportunities for Ohioans with Disabilities is a key partner for a lot of students as they transition into the world of work. In school, students have a individual education plan through Opportunities for Ohioans with Disabilities, which is Ohio's vocational rehab. They get an individual plan for employment. So, I think there's a lot of great resources out there. Those are just a few of them.
Yeah, it really sounds like there is a lot to help K-12 partners. And again, I will put a link to the Opportunities for Ohioans with Disabilities in the episode description for anyone who might be listening and want to look more into that. Next question. What practices are you seeing from CTPDs in your region that are doing really well? And what can others learn from those best practices?
I have seen CTPDs that have really placed a priority on developing that communication plan that I had talked about before, really doing a nice job of ensuring that the relationship between the career tech world and the special ed world is aligned very well. Transition plans, I mentioned, those are part of a student's individual education plan starting at age 14. One of the things I've seen that has really been effective is where those transition plans align very closely with each student's graduation plan, which in Ohio, every student entering ninth grade has to have a graduation plan that is, again, kind of backwards planning approach of where do you want to be? How are we going to ensure that you earn the course credits that you need, demonstrate competency, demonstrate readiness? Those are like the three big buckets with the Ohio graduation requirements. Use of evidence-based practices is a hallmark of programs where we're seeing really great outcomes for our students with disabilities. And taking all hands on deck approach, I mentioned before that some students might need some additional support in their employment when they exit public school services. So ensuring that the right people are there. So like for Opportunities for Ohioans with Disabilities, that is one agency, is an example that if that agency is possibly going to provide some support to make sure that they're part of that planning process. But for everything, it really comes down to communication and making sure that we are implementing each student's individual education plan with fidelity. And, things don't always go right. And so I think another thing is just a good practice is if things are not working out for a student, let's not get too far down the road. Let's reconvene a team meeting. Let's talk about what's going well. Let's talk about what the problems may be. Try to do a root cause analysis. So, rather than just saying, no, this isn't working, not a good fit, find another program, which happens rarely these days, I'm happy to say. We're really looking at how do we support the whole child and look at students within the context, not just of the Career Tech program, but also family, community, and understanding the end result here isn't just getting a diploma. It's making sure that diploma is going to lead to whatever that student's definition of a good life is as the next step.
Great, thank you. As we're wrapping up this episode of the podcast, there's a question I kind of ask all of my guests because you're the expert in the room with me. Is there anything else you'd like to add to the discussion that I didn't ask about before we wrap up?
I feel like this is a very good time for Career Tech. I mean, clearly the Governor's Office of Workforce Transformation, the Ohio Department of Education being renamed the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce, very purposeful. I'm very excited about the investment that we are making into Career Tech. I think that as time goes by, we're getting further away from the four-year college for all mentality. If anyone's looking for a good read, there's Dr. Kevin Fleming wrote Redefining the Goal, presents some really, really great data about, the changing workforce. So I want to remain positive and optimistic that students with disabilities are going to be seen as an asset in the workforce. And I think we're continuously moving in that direction. We have work to go, but I can tell you from a lot of years of experience, I've seen a lot of success stories given the right support and the proper planning. That's about it, but I really appreciate having the opportunity to share it with you and your audience.
We really appreciate having you on. That is all I've got today, so thank you for coming.
I want to once again thank Robert Ross from the state support team for appearing on our little podcast. I also wanted to thank you, our loyal listeners, for another wonderful year. This is going to be our last episode of the season, so please join us again next August or September, and we will continue on bringing you amazing career technical education content. Until then, all of our previous episodes are still available wherever you listen to your podcasts. And I hope if you've enjoyed this show or any of these shows that you would be able to leave us a rating or a review on your podcast service of choice. And once again, on behalf of the entire Northeast Ohio College Tech Prep team, I want to thank you all for listening and wish you a speedy end of the school year and a restful summer.